Pop quiz, gentlemen. Who do you think popularized the boot and jean look? Was it the rise of the motorcycle and greaser subcultures of the 1950s and 60s? Maybe the boot and jean combination was made popular by the cowboys of the 1870s as they drove cattle from San Antonio, Texas, all the way up to Abilene, Kansas. Or maybe it was the California gold rush of the 1840s and 50s. I mean, it was during that time period and location that we not only saw the birth of Levi jeans, but the masses actually had money to buy nice footwear. The answer? All of the above. The truth of the matter is the look that we take for granted just seems to go together like peas and carrots. Well, this combination and the masculine associations with it have been fed to us now for over 150 years. The fact of the matter is you'll see men in New York City, out in Los Angeles, California, down in Houston, Texas, wearing this combination and looking good in different ways. So, having said that, is there a correct way to match boots and jeans? Well, as they say here in Wisconsin, you betcha. And in today's video, gents, I'm going to show you exactly how. Now, a boot, in its simplest form, is a type of footwear that protects the foot and the ankle. Believe it or not, shoes of this type have been around since 1000 BC. Now, jeans, as we know them, emerged in the 1860s, started being mass-produced in the 1870s. But if you know your fabric history, you know that denim originated from dungaree, which is a fabric that's been spun in India for hundreds of years. Denim is a variation of dungaree, first produced 200 years ago in Nimes, France. All right, so enough history. How to correctly match boots with jeans. Well, the way I'm going to attack this is first, I'm going to lay out the foundational rules. Next up, I'm going to talk about the most common mistakes. And finally, I'm going to talk about all the different boot styles and the jeans that work appropriately with them. That being said, gents, all the boots you're going to see in today's video can be found over at Thursday Boots, the sponsor of today's video. Now, gents, I've been talking about Thursday Boots for over 5 years because I love what these guys do. Thursday Boots makes quality, great looking footwear at an affordable price. When it comes to style, they've got a wide variety of different looks. Whether you want Western boots, whether you want a laced boot, whether you want a dress boot, you are going to find what you're looking for. And that's what I love about Thursday Boots. Not only do they have great options, but they also paid attention to the function. I know a lot of you guys have been considering some suede boots. Well, guess what? Thursday not only has different colors, different styles of suede boots, but they've also got them made from a suede that's going to be water resistant. Thursday Boots doesn't skimp on the build quality. When you look on the insides of a Thursday boot, which by the way, I've cut one in half. I'll link to that video down in the description, but you'll see inside they are actually using a Goodyear welt. In a nutshell, what does that mean? It means that the boot is quality made. It's going to last longer. Whenever it wears out, you can actually get these resoled. It also means that it's going to be more water resistant. Oh, and if you're in the market for sneakers, if you're looking for a pair of dress shoes, go over to the Thursday website. What I like about this is they use the same last. So if you've already got a pair of boots and they fit well, you like the fit, then guess what? Choose a pair of dress shoes or sneakers in the same size and they're going to feel just as good. So gents, if you're in the market for quality footwear at an affordable price, check out Thursday Boots. I'm linking to them down in the description of today's video with the best deal on the web. Use that link, go over to Thursday Boots and check them out, guys. All right, gents, so now let's get into the 4 key fundamentals to matching boots with jeans. First up, fit matters. It doesn't matter how stylish those jeans or those boots are. If they don't fit you, if you're not comfortable in them, then it's just not a good deal. So you want to try on the boots. You want to make sure you give time to break them in. So many people buy a pair of boots and then they just wear it without giving it time to say, hey, is this actually a good fit for me? Especially if you're a younger man, maybe your feet are still growing, which they do up to the age of 21. Or if you gain or lose weight, you really want to make sure you've got footwear that fits your body. Denim, the same thing. And I know you think you know your size, 32, 32, 34, 34, whatever it may be, it's going to be different with different brands. And so find the brand that works for you. Some of you guys, it's going to be Levi's. Some of you guys out west, down south, maybe are more Wrangler men. For some of you guys, it's going to be APC. And some of you denim heads are going to be willing to spend hundreds, if not $1,000 to get that high-end Japanese stuff. Now, as a style guy that gets into fabrics and quality-made clothing, I do see where some of those more expensive jeans are going to be perfect for certain guys. But I think for the majority of men, what you want to look at is find a brand that just works for you, and you can get great denim, in my opinion, easily under $150. And if you wait for sales and you know where to look, you can find great deals under $50. Just remember to get the right fit, because even saving 90% on a pair of jeans that don't fit, that is still a bad deal. The next rule is proportion. You're going to have boots out there that are just going to be larger proportioned. Everything about them is going to be bigger. So those are going to require a denim that's a little bit looser, maybe a little bit larger. You don't want to try wearing skinny jeans with big boots. On the flip side, ultra casual jeans, very loose jeans with more elegant looking boots. Well, again, it goes both ways. So you want to go for matching proportions for matching styles. The next rule is to balance out the color. Which one of these is going to go with a dark denim? Now the answer is either one could, but they're going to have very different looks and effect on your presentation. The black right here mixed with that dark indigo is going to give a very streamlined look. People are going to be able to look you up and down. They're not really going to focus much on the feet, which may be the whole look that you're going for. It's going to be a little bit dressier. That same denim with these boots right here, all of a sudden the attention is going to be on the feet. Maybe you do want that because these are great looking boots. You want to show off the suede, but understand that's also going to make the outfit a little bit more casual. The point here is to understand the power of color, of contrast, and be intentional in the message you're sending. And the final rule that every guy needs to know when matching jeans and boots is to understand the formality level of the boots. Now, both of these boots are great looking ones. I think they're incredibly handsome. I love the green suede here. The leather on this one just makes them look really good. But because of the style of these boots, the length of the shaft, the way the laces are shaped, the overall style here is going to make these boots casual. Therefore, I could never wear these with a dress outfit. By their nature, most boots are going to be casual. That being said, there are different levels of that casualness. This one, because of the black color, it's a really simple design. The laces, I could go with something a little bit dressier. This pair of boots may be worn with a pair of dark gray flannels. Yeah, I could maybe pull it off with a sports jacket. Now, Chelsea boots are about as dressy as you can get. And some guys will say, yeah, you shouldn't pull this off with a suit. I'm going to say in inclement weather, go for it. Or if you're traveling, I would still try to pull this off. Maybe parts of the UK where you guys are a little bit stricter on your rules. But yeah, in the United States, you could pull this off with a dark colored suit. A pair of Chukkas like this, yeah, they look great with just a pair of blue jeans and a nice sweater. That being said, following those 4 rules does not guarantee success because there are 3 common mistakes that you still want to avoid. First up, correctly hem your jeans. Now, this is going to depend on the boot. It's going to depend on the type of jean and your style. But in general, you don't want to have 3 to 4 inches of extra fabric that's bunching up near your ankles. On the flip side, you don't want jeans that are so short that they're showing the entirety of the boot. Now, a big part of this depends on the width of the leg opening. But in general, the hem of your jeans should rest on the top of the boot or slightly overlap it. For me, this means without shoes, when I put on the jeans, the hem should go all the way just almost to the under part of the heel. The next mistake is ignoring the occasion. The boots work really good with your outfit, but your entire outfit is too casual or maybe a little bit too dressed up for the situation. So this is more than just the boots. It's you actually paying attention to the dress code. You may say there is no dress code. Guys, there's always a dress code. It may be unspoken, but there is always an expectation to dress in a certain way. Seriously, if you doubt this, just show up naked. And last but not least, take care of your footwear. If they can take a shine, then shine and polish them. If it's suede, then get a suede brush and make sure to clean them after you wear. Just use water, get rid of the salt in there. They are going to last longer. They are going to look better. So now let's get into the specifics. I'm going to assume that most of the jeans we're talking about here are dark denim. Now, of course, you got tons of options. You could go with black denim. You could go with a red denim. You could go with a gray denim, which is actually underused and can look really good. Point being, you got tons of options when it comes to colors. I'm going to go with the most classic, just that classic dark denim that I think every man should have in his wardrobe. And for Chelsea, so you could go with black. There's a wide variety of different Chelsea boots out there, but the type and the style of jeans I'm going to look at are going to be either a slim or a tapered cut. You could also go with a straight cut. What you want to avoid, though, is going to be a loose, baggy cut or even a boot cut. Yes, these are boots, but most boot cuts are made for Western boots or boots that are going to have a larger, thicker shaft at the top. Chelsea boots fit a little bit closer, and depending on the style of the Chelsea boot, it could be a dress Chelsea boot. Now, this one, because of the sole, I know is going to be a little bit more casual, so possibly I could get away with a pair of boot cut jeans, but again, you want to try them on. In general, though, straight cut I think is going to work for the majority of men trying to look good in a pair of Chelseas, or you could go for a tapered cut if it's a little bit more of an elegant Chelsea. Next up, we've got the Chukka. Very similar to the Chelsea in design, but notice we've got the lacing and it is going to be more casual. Now, the jean styles are going to work with Chukka very similar to the Chelsea. You can go with that slim tapered cut, but again, it's going to be the straight cut. You want to have a little bit more of an opening at the bottom. That being said, most boot cuts are probably going to be too wide, especially if it's a modern boot cut. It's coming in this looser clothing that we're seeing is trending right now. If you go with a classic boot cut, one that maybe came out about 5 to 10 years ago, again, you can go and measure the openings and you can try this up. And that's what I recommend. Most of these brands selling jeans, they've got their own models that they use and their measurements. One could have a boot cut with an opening of 14 inches at the bottom, almost bell bottoms, 15 inches. Other ones are going to have more like 12 to 13 inches, which could work for a pair of Chukkas like this. So now let's talk about boots that actually work with the boot cut. Both of these right here are going to be heavier, are going to be more casual, and because of the length of the shaft, not necessarily the thickness, both of these right here would work fine with a boot cut. Maybe not too wide because it could start to envelop the whole boots, but in general, because of the size, because of the clunkiness, the build of these boots right here, they're not going to be dwarfed by that opening at the bottom. You could also wear straight, and I think straight jeans for the majority of boots is pretty much the perfect one to go with. I would be careful about going with a tapered fit. Definitely you don't want to go skinny unless maybe you're going for that clunky foot. Yeah, if you're a fashionista, then what are you doing watching my videos? Should be teaching this stuff. No, not for me, not my style, but I think this right here, either one of these, you could wear a boot cut and be fine. And as many of you guys could probably guess, a boot cut is going to work perfect for Western boots. And this is originally what the boot cut was designed for. So in brands like Wrangler and other Western styles, we see a lot of boot cuts because cowboys need to be able to put their boots on and be able to cover the shaft. Now you're going to see some people out there wearing the jeans in the shaft. I'm not going to recommend for the majority of men. Now, if you got a pair of handmade boots and you really want to show off the handwork, then I guess go for it. Now, that last style was a Western boot. This is a roper. You're going to notice the ropers have a shorter shaft and usually not as wide of a shaft, not as pronounced. And this is going to be, again, perfect for the boot cut. The straight cut is going to work great. Slim or skinny jeans, yeah, you want to avoid. Now, what about baggy jeans? For most men, I'm not going to recommend that style. I know it's coming back. If I were to have to choose a pair of boots to go with, it would be something that's heavier, a little bit more clunky. You could go with a hiking boot, kind of an explorer boot. You could also look at moccasin style boots. I love them because they're incredibly comfortable, but that larger toe box with the overall, features, the contrast in, the design and everything right here makes the boots look a little bit bigger than they actually are. So if you wanted to go for something that would balance out that looser fit, then these would probably be it. If you go with a relaxed cut, which is fine, especially for a lot of guys that just like a looser jean, and a relaxed cut is not the same as baggy, and it's usually going to have a little bit larger of an opening, so a relaxed cut jean would work with either one of these. Straight cut, as always, will work with these right here. Boot cut would work as well. Skinny or, tapered jeans, you'd want to be careful. You could possibly pull it off with the right style of taper, or if you went one size larger. Next up, we've got the dress boot. As the name implies, this is going to be one of the dressier styles of boots out there. This pair right here, it has a bit of a brogue design. A brogue, as many of you guys know, holes cut into the leather. This comes out of, I believe it was the UK, maybe it was Scotland or one of those northern areas that's always starting fights up there. They said, hey, we're going to walk through these marshes and we want the water to be able to leave our shoes. So that's where the brogues originated from. These are not going to go all the way through. It's more of a decorative design, but it is considered something really nice. It makes it a little bit more difficult to clean. In either case, we've got one in suede. We've got one more in a polished leather right here. Either one of these, straight jeans, of course, would work, but maybe you could find a pair of tapered. You don't want to go for a tight tapered. You want to go for something that fits maybe a little bit looser. Again, go with that dark colored denim, black denim right here, mixed in with that brown. And if anyone thinks that brown doesn't go with black, just look at the soles right there. Look at how they're black. So you can clearly see that black does go with brown. I think it's a really smart combination, especially when you want to dress it up, maybe with a sports jacket or maybe a really nice sweater during the winter. Skinny, I would avoid that type of jeans. And you could go maybe with a relaxed fit on these. Boot cuts, I think, would be too much for the beautiful, I think, more delicate nature of these boots. But yeah, you could go with a pair of relaxed jeans. Definitely not, don't go with baggy. Now, what about the humble work boot? So first up, don't be confused by the name. A work boot maybe 40, 50 years ago was primarily used for work. Nowadays, we see where you can dress them up, you can dress them down. You can wear them, of course, to work, but you can also wear them every single day as you're just exploring New York City. That's what I like about this style, is it's incredibly versatile, and it works with a wide variety of jeans. I mean, this pair right here, I could wear with a pair of slim cuts. I could wear it with a straight cut, a loose fit jean. Heck, I'd even stretch it and say you could try to wear this with baggy jeans. I probably wouldn't be able to pull it off, but who knows, maybe you could. I think the key here is finding the right style, because this one right here, a little bit more elegant, a little bit, sharper looking, a little bit more delicate looking, if you want to use that word. This one right here, just heavier, clunkier. Why? look at the sole. So if you wanted, a pair of boots like this and you want to wear them with a bigger jean that has more, excess fabric on it, then look for a larger sole. So what video to watch next? Well, let's talk about the upper body. Guys, I got you covered how to correctly match jeans with a sweater. You got the boots down. Let's talk about those jumpers, the sweater. Let's get that right. Don't mess this up, guys. I got you covered, boom, with this video right here. Oh yeah.